Mm-hmm.
What's happening now is that the times have changed. Someone like Doechii is an internet baby. She got on the Joe Budden podcast and laid down her path to getting where she's at. Driving, packing all her shit from Florida, moving to LA, dropping mixtapes, recording shit on the internet. In fact, Anxiety was one of the old joints that was on the internet that her fans insisted that she repackage and drop again. You know, she's been putting in the work because you woke up one day and Shorty's in your face like she's supposed to be. When you have a record company that's pushing your work, she's supposed to be in your face. All these songs that make number one, is it because people love them or because they're constantly in our face? Taylor Swift will release 70 million copies and versions of her album. Is that a plant or is she just gaming the system? So I think when adults leave the talking points to children, children who have all these stupid beefs that they want to keep pushing, everybody that's in Drake's camp is an op to Kendrick, so they have to try to undermine them and vice versa. You know, like adults should know better. People whose lives have been spent in music should know better. These are different times. We're not the chances of finding an artist in a bar who just turns up at number one is zero. Zero. This kid that made Tipsy, who knew of him before he made Tipsy? How many people knew Shabuzi? How many people know Shabuzi before he made Tipsy? He featured on a
Only
Beyonce
Seth.
album. How did he get that leg up? How did he get that look to feature on a Beyonce track? How was he planted there as well? Planting is not a bad thing. If you're trying to blow, that's what your record company is supposed to do. Get you playlisted. They used to put songs on playlists of radio stations. You drive 10 minutes, you hear like sorry, you drive 1 hour, you're hearing the same 10 songs. Is that because those are the only 10 songs that people like? Or because they're being placed there by record companies? So when a
Mm-hmm.
record company does what they're supposed to do for their artist, we're gonna turn around and say this person is being planted, even though she came up and she told her story and it's a verifiable story, and you have records online to show that she's been grinding forever. But because all of a sudden TDE is doing what they're supposed to do, and unfortunately for her, she drops in the middle of all this stupid beef shit, people are going to dismiss her work, dismiss her presence, dismiss her impact, and call her a plant. And Joe did call her a plant. I remember, I think it was like in October or August, or it was between
Yeah, August
October and
or
November.
October.
He definitely called her a plant. And I think he should know better than to do that. Like the timeline should not inform somebody like Joe Budden's opinions. And I had a good laugh when he just removed himself from the cipher of who she was talking to. Nah, buddy, she's talking to you too. He definitely talking to you too because you use those words. She's a plant when you were talking about her, so she's def talking about you. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
And just as an
Wait, I kind
aside,
of
I
want to
do want
counter
to.
that though. I'm sorry.
Well, before you, I just want to say as an aside that I think Elliot Wilson was kind of talking to some of these points when he was like, "Yo, there's no hip hop media really. Where's the articles? Where's the getting to know these artists? Like the places in between are so disconjointed and or just plain gone that you won't hear about an artist on the rise. You got to pop up on somebody's algorithm, or you got to be watching a podcast and somebody mention them, but everybody doesn't watch the same stuff, so it kind of gets glossed over. Charlie
No,
Funk.
but I'm defending Joe on that one just because I hear Joe say shit like that I say down here a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk hard to each other. It's tough love down here. So it's like if that shit trash, like I remember, bro, I remember when somebody played Rod Wave for me for the first time, you feel me? And I was like, bro, some of these songs is trash. And they was like, nah, bro, he ain't trash, bro. He coming from the soul and all that. I say, I feel that, but just some of these bitches feel like throwaways. It's jamming. Don't get me wrong. I done jammed mixtape music before. I'm from the mixtape era. But some of this shit just trash. Like sometimes people be trying to make it into a malicious thing. Like, I don't really think she is throwing Joe in there. I don't think she is talking about Joe. And all
Charlie, I'm
that.
not going. I'm not going to let you go because his thing wasn't about her music being trash. He was actually saying, "Where's she at? She's a plant. Where's she at? I
No,
don't
that's
see
what
what
I'm
she's
saying.
doing." It was
No,
like,
I'm
dog, she
using
was
that.
on tour.
I'm
Implying that
using that
shit was
as an
quiet for her.
example. I'm using the
Yeah.
no. I'm using the thing about trash as an example because that's something
Mhm.
similar that we say before. But I'm also speaking to the plant thing where it's like, yeah, he said she a plant, but he didn't say it in like a malicious way, like, oh, she shouldn't be here. She's a plant because he knows what the industry does with planting a seed. You
But
have to plant a
when you
seed.
call no, he called her a plant in the way the kids are talking about it. He
Yeah.
definitely did that. And when you
Yeah,
call her a plant, you're undermining her work. You're undermining the effort it took to get. Because to say somebody is a plant is essentially you saying they don't deserve to be in the spot that they're in. That's
I
essentially what
disagree.
you're saying.
And
No,
for
I
They
him
were
to
put.
disagree.
say that,
That's what I'm saying. That's my
to me, it
pushback.
was implying that she got up here by means that
Do you
That's
get
my
me?
pushback though.
yeah.
My
Exactly.
pushback is it's those two things aren't mutually exclusive. Like just because I'm saying you a plant and you've been planted here, that doesn't take away from your grind. Some people don't grind and they get planted there, but some people actually had to grind and they got some assistance and now they got assistance from the machine. And I don't feel like pointing that
But
out as being
how is
malicious.
that a plant? If you're talented and you're grinding and a record label picks you up and does what they're supposed to do with your work,
But
how
this
is
is
that
but
you
this
being planted?
well, how many
Yo,
artists have they not
person.
done what they supposed to do? That's good artists that we've seen should be getting pushed. That's my point. So they're gonna plant you somewhere with other because they plant other artists who are not deserving as well. And they've
I,
shysted the artists who are,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I think we've lost. I think we've in this conversation is getting a bit cyclical, but I think we've lost the meaning, the actual popular meaning of the word. There's no positive
No,
meaning to that word. When you call
No,
somebody a
no, no.
no,
plant,
I
when you
there
call someone a
is.
plant, you're dismissing
That's
them.
what I'm
You're saying
saying.
they don't
You
deserve what they're getting. That's what
but
you're
what
saying.
but what I'm saying is you only taking the negative connotation is you doing exactly what you said earlier, which is
What's
taking
the
your talking
positive
points from the
connotation of
children.
calling someone a
Because the
plant?
children are the ones who's giving it the negative connotation.
That's the
We've been
only
working.
connotation
Well,
it's
I've been working
got.
with radio. I've been working with radio and with the music industry for like 20 plus years. So when we talk about it, we know that somebody being planted, but we also know that they're a good talent. Like
Yeah, would
when
would
Missy
y'all
was
mind
hot, Missy
if
was
I
being
interject
forced
for
in our
just a
face.
second?
You know what
Just
I'm
a
saying?
second when you're done with your point, blood.
That's all I'm saying. Like, it's a degree to it, and the ones who giving it the negative connotation is the social media. We never gave it no negative connotation. We
But
just
then that's
know
who started the
it was
conversation.
bad.
In today's parlance, maybe it was different 20 years ago, but in today's parlance,
It's been the same thing the whole
when you call
time.
somebody a plant, there's nothing positive about it.
Why
Is
not?
a
Plants grow.
dismissal
They
of
give us
their
oxygen.
work.
All right,
All right,
Guys, come
y'all,
on,
y'all,
all
okay,
right,
y'all,
okay,
y'all
okay,
going
No,
back.
okay.
No,
it's
Y'all
literally
just
Charlie.
going back and
No,
forth.
right,
Charlie.
Charlie,
like
come on, man.
it's
All
been the
right, now
same
come
shit the
on.
whole
No,
time. Y'all just changed it, and
please.
that's my whole point. You taking your talking points from children.
Was the
That's the new
conversation
generation who gave it a new meaning.
was the
Like when
conversation
somebody told me about it, they gave me the
He's
definition out the
cooking.
Urban
Y'all
Dictionary.
keep trying to shut him
Well,
down,
you
but
caping,
he's
so
cooking.
that's he caping and he
of
Ain't
cooking.
course you'd
nobody
say
trying
that,
to
Joe. He's
shut him down,
defending
Joe.
you.
I'm
He's
trying to
not.
give
All
it
He's
right,
not.
all
context.
right, all
He's
right,
Like
not.
it's a
y'all.
He's
This is
not.
degree to
still
this
a
He's
shit.
not
listening.
cooking.
This is still this is still a listening experience. One at a time. T rank and go.
Yeah, he's not cooking. He's giving Joe an out, a very convenient out. Because I mean, I think words mean things, and the meanings of words evolve over time. There is no way today when you're saying to somebody, in the context of the conversation that was had about Doechii and around Doechii, there is only really one interpretation of what was being said. If she's being called a plant today by Adin Ross and everybody else, they're not trying to say, oh, yeah, the record label did what they were supposed to do. That's why she's a plant. You are questioning her visibility. You're questioning her ubiquity. You're questioning whether this song that we're hearing, Anxiety, for example, deserves to do what it's doing. That's essentially what you're saying. That's why she took umbrage. She took umbrage because we understand that word in a negative light today, and that's how it's being used. I haven't in the last 5 years, I have not heard this word used positively. I've not heard it to mean to be playlisted in the way that the previous speaker was trying to suggest. I haven't heard it because when I was coming up, it was you were placed. Your song was placed. So you're hearing Mariah Carey 20 million times. You're hearing Taylor Swift 20 million times because record labels are doing the work that they're supposed to do. So why now all of a sudden Doechii's popping, one or two other artists are popping. That plant tag is on them because you don't think that they are deserving of the spot that they currently occupy. And I listen, I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to hear a positive example of that word being used to describe an
Look,
artist, you know?
Yeah,
I
can
just
I
told you, Wiz
interject for a
Khalifa.
second?
they call Wiz Khalifa a
Bro,
plant.
like, let me just
We don't
interject for a
call
second,
Wiz
Wiz
bro. I don't
Khalifa
want to
called
cut
Conversation.
you
himself
off,
a
but
plant.
I'm just
He called himself a plant in an interview. I said that
Yeah,
earlier.
but
Yes, he
He
did.
Y'all, I
said
don't know
they
how y'all
said that
missed that.
because they were being disingenuous about his signing process and
No,
other
he,
shit.
yeah, he said
I
it
think
because
we're
he was
getting
talking about the
plant and
positive of the process.
industry push
You said, but you
confused,
said they
and
were
I
hiding.
genuinely think those are two different things. And we are, because of the fact that we're listening to a large podcast with people that have been in the industry versus also listening to people who are talking on the internet, just use the term industry plants. They just learned 6 minutes ago. Like, it's a broad conversation between people who are not in the industry and people who are. Plant can have a negative connotation, but industry push is a real thing that is not a negative thing, but is
Yep.
real. If TDE is pushing Doechii, that's a real thing. And they can be pushing her because she has the talent, which I, as a motherfucking fact, believe that she does. But an industry push is a real fucking thing. It's a real fucking thing, and it doesn't have a bad connotation, in my opinion. But it's a real
What
motherfucking thing.
was
Oh,
this?
why are we
And
getting the
Push,
industry push when somebody says she's a plant and then follows up with saying where's she at? She not. She ain't been out here.
where she at is because you're
Y'all
not
remember
looking.
the
It's
segment
not
that
where
is,
she at because where she
Exactly.
at is
y'all
because you
remember the
don't
segment that
see
you
where
were
she
talking
is.
Can
about?
I ask a
And people
question?
responded with photos of her concert showing how sold out it was because he asked where she
And
was
she was
at.
tour,
He
and she was
wasn't
Yeah,
even
like what
touring,
are
being
y'all
and
talking
positive
she
about?
was
Y'all
about
on
don't
it.
even
tour at the
remember the
time. Yeah, she
segment.
was on tour at the time.
Yeah.
Dash, go ahead with your question, bro.
What were these plant conversations had before she won the Grammy with her album?
No.
It was after the Grammy.
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
It was percolating.
That's what I'm
Some of
saying.
these
Like,
they
and
were
she
being
came up on
whispered.
the show. When she come up on the show? Before the Grammy, right?
I believe
Yes.
so. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
Long
I'm saying. Like,
before,
is
long
definitely.
there
before the
you
Grammy.
have
Long
Yeah.
before the Grammy.
are you gonna call her a plant before then?
I wasn't calling
Her
her a plant.
Not
I
all,
success,
wasn't
not
gonna
her
all at
call her
once.
success,
shit
her
because they
success
did
led
either
to
they
people
didn't
calling
know
her
or
a
they did.
plant. Her success led to people calling her a plant. The fact that that anxiety jam took off the way it took off, led to people calling her a plant because it's like, okay, you can't be successful unless it's been juiced. That was the implication.
Man, I call a nigga four bats a plant. I don't know if the shit was successful, but I know the nigga just popped up and he was everywhere.
Can I ask a
Now he's
question?
gone. You plant or
Go ahead,
not?
Is
Jason.
Rihanna a plant? Because
What?
Jay,
Girl,
because
What
I'm
just
Jay Z.
happened?
talking about. Oh
No,
my
seriously,
God,
seriously.
Lord.
Because I was listening to everything y'all saying. Jay Z definitely went there, got her, locked her in a room with a bunch of executives until they fucking signed her.
You believe
Wait,
that
whoa.
story? Believe that story? I never believe that story.
I thought plants had like a agenda base behind them, like
Like, I don't.
industry agenda. I'm talking, not artist agenda. Just getting successful. I thought it was like, okay, 6ix9ine, we could see it. He infiltrated gangs, infiltrated the culture. Like that's some label bullshit that they did. So you could call him a plant. I'm just trying to understand what the agenda part of calling her a plant is.
I
How
can
is she
see
a
that
plant?
point. That's a good point, Dash. I can see that.
I think for me, listening to all these things, and it's wonderful to juxtapose her with 6ix9ine actually, because this is somebody whose everything was fabricated in order to get him to be successful. His gang affiliations were fabricated or exaggerated to get you to believe a version of himself that he was selling. Doechii is selling literally what she is. She's from Florida. That's why her little logo thing is a gator. Like she's from the swamp. That's why it's a gator. She told you the story of how she got where she got. So she's not selling you something different to when she talks about her background. Everything matches. It matches. She's not fabricating a story. Yes, she might use some artistic license like every other artist, every other creative does, right? I think for me, the agenda that I'm seeing in calling her plant is due to her affiliation with Kendrick and TDE. I think it was that's why I said listening to kids is dangerous. I think it was these kids who are still in their feelings of the fact that Drake lost the battle, and people affiliated with Drake who want to be affiliated with Drake are banging on Doechii as a result. You've got Ark doing it. You've got that kid the streaming kid that Joe calls fuckity fuck.
Adin
You've got
Ross.
him doing it as well. And you've got a bunch of little kids on Twitter doing the same thing. So the conversation then becomes larger. Then people start talking about people calling her a plant. And then it acquires a kind of legitimacy. Do you understand? Because they can't quite believe that she's that successful. They can't believe that the mixtape got a Grammy. They can't believe that Anxiety, an 8-year-old song, is getting all this motion that it's getting. They can't believe that she's selling out tours. Like something must be juicy inside. It can't
Don't
be
let that bitch
natural.
take a picture with Jay-Z. Oh
You know what I
Lord, that's
mean? To
gonna take
them,
it
it
over the
doesn't look
top.
natural. It doesn't look normal. That's why they're attributing her success to her being a plant, as if CDE is buying out the concert tickets, and it's not ordinary human beings attending these concerts. They're just trying to just downplay her success. That's the way it looks to me, man.
You know what doesn't look normal to me? One of my biggest first early songs in my career being with Eminem and Kanye and Lil Wayne. That don't look fucking normal either. So they want to start talking about plants. Plants grow all sorts of ways, man. From all sorts of types of seeds. And a motherfucking gotta have a farmer.
You talking about Drake?
Say your name. Say your name. Yeah, Drake. No.
Oh, are you asking if that's what I was referring to? Yeah,
Yeah.
shit. I ain't no pussy. Yeah, of course. Drake.
I don't give a fuck if you talk about Drake. I don't give a fuck about him either.
Oh
Kendrick,
shit. Who the
Drake,
fuck?
any of them.
Yeah. But that's I'm just saying, certain seeds get planted. You got GMO fucking farms and then you got organic farms. You feel me? Seeds is getting planted by
This
all
nigga
sorts of
going
farmers.
back to
Is they gonna
plants.
grow?
Oh my god.
I'm just saying, is you gonna buy that shit or not? Is all I'm saying.
Just bring
I
your
thought that was.
chlorophyll water.
You
Um,
feel me?
I'm sorry because I feel like I've been rude.
Gator bites don't heal.
I'm sorry, I feel like I've been rude. First of all, Joe, Happy New Year. Welcome to the stage. I would love it if you could tell me what your definition of a plant is. Oh, you just gonna throw hearts out there? You don't want to say shit? What you came up here for then? Damn. All right.
He
But
know how
Yeah,
to
that's what
he know
I'm
how to
saying,
argue.
bro. Like,
I
squash
came
this
up
shit. I
here
want to hear
to
from the pastor.
support the
Hold on,
brother that was
JK.
making sense. One and two, in case I heard something that needed to be defended or addressed. None of which has happened yet. So I'm chilling. Happy New Year.
okay. All right. Cool. Well, I don't know.
Charlie, why do you feel like Joe wouldn't express that point on the show if it was just that simple?
Because he's been there and he has a way of doing that. That's adding nuance to the conversation and sometimes letting people spin it the way they want to spin it. That's a part of broadcasting. That's a part of being an artist. That's a part of being a writer. That's a part of putting words
So
together.
why doesn't Fuckity Fuck have that license to do so?
Because he's coming at it maliciously. He's saying she's a fucking plant. That bitch doesn't deserve to be where she is. Joe didn't say that. He didn't say
Well,
anything in that vein.
and because he's a racist.
And because yeah, extremely.
And because he's a racist. Let's not forget that.
For real
Well,
hard
that's a
on
big
that.
part of it.
And I thought a lot of these white boys were racist.
See, it'd be a lot
Logan
of
Yeah,
y'all
Paul
on the
and
but
all
he's
of
internet.
them.
There's gotta be a
displaying. But
lot of
he's
y'all
displaying
weirdos
his
defending racist behavior.
right.
Logan Paul,
He's displaying
Adam,
his. That's
Hey,
all of
outright. That
me.
what that ain't to be stood for. I fuck with Glasses Malone on that. You feel me? Like that ain't finna be stood for. You can be a closet racist as much as you want to, and we can try to pick that shit apart and try to do the little conspiracy theories with that shit. Oh, they did this because of microaggression and all that shit there. But when somebody is clearly being aggressive with one of our black women who's worked hard and did what she had to do, and now she has her hands on the machine and it's coming in your face the way it is, pause. Like, come on, man, get real. You damn right we finna stand up for that shit. Ain't that what we built this culture for? Get
But
out
this
of
is
here,
what the
man.
women had a problem
talk
with.
Check
about
this
Y'all,
it.
out.
y'all man
Talk
handle the
about
women.
it.
Charlie,
Y'all man handle the
Charlie, I
women
agree with
all
you.
through the thing, and
Charlie, I
then
agree with you, but I think in order for Adin Ross to have the license to speak on Doechii the way he was speaking on her, he had to be shown to that door. Like he had to be given that license,
by
and
the
I think
academics.
exactly, and I think a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of mostly males were speaking on Doechii crazy. They were speaking on Doechii crazy. He didn't just start speaking on her from out the blue. It stemmed from this whole battle thing, right? And because a lot of people have planted their flag in the sand and they've taken a side and they've decided that because Doechii is TDE, it means that she's fair game for their racism, for their misogyny, for their colorism, for their whatever. That's why he's got the license to do this. Because there are a lot of people that will be on his side when he's chatting shit, and they'll be on his side because they are Drake fans. That's the long and short of it. Drake found himself next to this guy, despite the fact that he's speaking on Doechii crazy. He's gonna give academics like expo and info on what he's doing, despite the fact that he's speaking on Doechii crazy. So we can't just say, oh, it's Adin Ross, it's Adin Ross. No, it's not just Adin Ross. A lot of black males speak on this babe crazy. Just do a quick Twitter search of
They
her
give a pass to the
and
nigga
see
that give the white
exactly.
people a pass.
Exactly,
That's the problem.
and see who's speaking crazy on her. You will see mad black men speaking crazy on Doechii. It's not just Aiden Ross. He got comfortable because black men made it comfortable for him. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, whenever y'all
That's
got
I
a
agree.
that's
minute.
dangerous rhetoric you spreading, T Rain.
No,
It's
well, I,
not. It's
I
what
That's
happened.
dangerous and disgusting rhetoric that you spreading.
I only want to.
Challenge it.
I can see what she's
Yeah.
talking about because I'm still one of them people who is because I deal with my local community because I work in my local community. A lot of hood niggas who was really upset. Like they was upset at Doechii have choice in men, saying that she don't a heterosexual man is a red flag for her. And niggas was really going out, jumping out the window, creating posts and having long ass discussions because they just monetize their pages and they got to have some sort of engagement. You know what I'm saying, to get that $14 a month. Like they was just making that's the hill that they was dying on. Well, I chose to walk up on that hill and shoot niggas because how's you mad at somebody for their choices? Y'all got children that's her age. Most of y'all niggas. Fuck out of here with that shit.
Thank you, Charlie, for pinpointing that fact because the pendulum really did swing when that statement from her came out, and they gave it to her crazy. They gave it to her crazy, and they did not let up on her up until she dropped this joint. And everyone's trying to disassociate themselves from some statements that might have made about her earlier.
I
Not naming any names.
I I do want to say that I have said before on this spaces that I did notice a change in how Joe reacted to Doechii once she made that comment because he was very upset about that comment. And he definitely, because you remember when I was going off on Keno, I brought up, hey, if you want me to accept your premise about Doechii, then you need to accept this premise. So I do remember there was a change. So I don't know. I don't want to put that on him. I think a lot of this stuff is condescension.
What's the change? That seems to be happening a lot lately, where y'all misunderstand or
Okay.
Yeah,
Somebody
you went
cut him
out.
off.
my bad. What was the change?
It seemed like you didn't give her any. It wasn't positive regard to her anymore. As far like it was very either downplayed, like you didn't want to talk about it, or there was some kind of I don't want to say chip on your shoulder because it's not that deep. More irritation. Like I'm not
Put
feeling
off.
like you just weren't feeling her anymore. And you were feeling her after the interview. You were feeling her when she was putting stuff out. But when she said that comment, I remember you being very vocally upset about it. And I understand
What comment?
when
She didn't fuck with black
the red
men,
with
or
that
she
the red
was.
she said a red flag for her was straight black. I don't think she said black. Did she just say straight men?
Yeah, she said straight men. I
Yeah,
want to
she
say
just said
straight men.
straight
I'm not
men.
sure.
And at that time, Joe, you were feeling like there was a war on the straight black men going on, so you didn't like her saying those comments.
And you think that relates to a plant conversation?
I'm saying that as far as your positive regard or balance, I guess, maybe unbiased. I don't know if it's, I don't even want to say biased. I don't think it's that deep. It's just more so like it seems like an,
Favor.
I don't want to say hate. I don't, it maybe it is
No, I
hate.
said
Maybe it's support
favors.
hate. Maybe
Favors.
it's support hate. We haven't visited that in a while because you're still supportive of her in a way, but there's a twinge of like irritation when you talk about her, honestly.
You got it. I think the comment was off-putting. Uh, I thought we talked about that in the topic. Uh, that doesn't relate to any plant conversation. And I just don't have much to say on the plant conversation because I don't think it's an important one, whether she is or isn't. I'm in support of that being what a plant looks like if she is a plant. That's a black girl given the opportunity. I think in that same plant conversation I expressed, I get why people think she's a plant. I don't really think I was so much expressing my own opinion, but that lent into how Kendrick is being leveraged and so forth and so on. Honestly, the plant conversation is above Doechii. It has absolutely nothing to do with her. She wouldn't know if she was or she wasn't. So her replying to the internet's definition of plant and the negative connotation that comes with it, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that. I champion that. But like the brother was saying earlier, the word plant has been around for ages in the industry and it does mean something. It's not just like this new negative, only all negative shit. Actually, the word was more so related to when something is successful
Yep,
and
plant
how
versus.
it became successful.
Come on, man. You're a you're a master of words. You know words change over time. And you know that when this conversation was broached, it
But
was
that's
broached
back
because of
to people that know the music business using the word and people on the
but you're
internet using
are
the
you
word.
are you delivering to an audience that knows about it
It's too
on a
many
grand scale or
civilians in the
don't?
conversation. I think it's what, and not to let me speak for you at all, Joe. Like, much respect, glad to hear you in this conversation. But it's too many opinions using the same word and using the same word with different intentions. I think is the problem.
Yeah, I got a question, Joe. Where do you believe that this negative connotation, this new negative connotation from plant even stems from in the first place? Where would you say it started, if you could pinpoint it? Because I've never viewed, I mean, of course, I don't hardly know shit about the music business myself, but I've only ever known for the plant term to have a negative connotation. So where do you think this shit started?
All right. T Rankin just sent me something, guys. Um, and it's pretty short, but I'm gonna go ahead and play it for you guys. Here it is. Doechii, yo, and fishy. Ain't nobody heard from Doechii. Yo, it's about what? I knew you would say that. No, I don't know. Yeah, me neither.
find another topic. Yeah, please. I was just asking y'all. I don't know. I don't know what the context is. I don't know either. Just what the industry playing shit. Move right along. Yeah, moving right along. Okay. I'm parked. They ain't tripping me up. Why you asked that question? Because I thought it would be a little more obvious than it is, but I guess it's not yet. But it's kind of obvious. So Dirk is in the news again. All right. So that was, I guess, the time that it was insinuated. But again, we don't hear any words.
That was an absolute beautiful segue into having the plant conversation. I don't get it. That was a beautiful segue into attempting to have that conversation.
May I ask a question?
Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead.
What was obvious about Doechii?
Yeah, that's what it was. And then maybe it was the way to broach the conversation.
No, this
And
is
they
for
kind of
Joe.
got
This is for Joe. What was obvious about Doechii?
If it wasn't obvious to you, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I thought so.
Can I ask a question to Joe
Because
that
y'all
is
trying to get me to say something and it's not important. That's the main part. Whatever
No,
y'all
you did.
trying to say is
No, you
just not important.
yeah, can I ask a question to Joe that's not about Doechii at all?
Go ahead. He probably won't answer it, but go ahead.
Yeah, Joe, even if you don't answer it, this is just me as a person viewing you. Once I said it a million fucking times. I love the pod. I appreciate the pod. I look at y'all niggas like my brothers, and I treat y'all and address y'all issues whether I agree. If I agree, if I think some shit's funny, I post it. If I disagree and I don't like it, I post it. It's the same way I deal with my family. So, because when I watch y'all, I feel like I'm talking to my family. But just me personally, since I'm in this spot, I've been grilled over the pause shit. I do not have a problem with y'all using pause as a community like issue. I think y'all addressed it the way y'all should have. I think y'all came on here and said, "Hey, we're just talking as bros. This is our personal space. We getting into it, like da, 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 like we're comfortable here, so we might say some shit that we might not say in front of everybody, especially on the Patreon, because y'all my homies. So you won't judge me the same way someone in public would, and I agree with that, and I take the shit the same way. Y'all do some shit, say some shit that's not necessarily inflammatory. I don't give a fuck. But I had mad niggas in my comments saying, "Oh, Joe was forced to say that he does not agree or he wants to cut down on pause. Like that's some industry like fucking Illuminati shit that he has to say I'm okay with the LGBTQ community. If you are comfortable with addressing that, can you address that you were not forced as much as a fucking joke that you would be forced to say anything is? Can would you mind
Yeah,
addressing that?
I would never even dignify something as foolish as that. No, I wasn't forced. Wasn't forced to say it. Mark may have planted the question, but nobody was forced to answer it a certain way.
oh, the
My
wordplay.
nigga,
and, and I think like my views, thoughts, and opinions on the LGBTQ plus community, I think have been long known, like for quite some time now.
yeah, my brother, thank you. I never even play with you that way, and I'm not like bringing this up to even address it in like a salacious type shit, but I'm addressing it so y'all niggas in the comments can stop talking shit and saying, "Oh, Joe gotta be
They not gonna
the
stop talking
PC."
shit, JK.
Well, here he is, Joe Budden, pin mark this shit.
All right.
I'll
What
Well,
send
you
you the
need to
I'm
clip.
say,
glad
my
you
brother?
got the what you needed from that. I do have a question. We're gonna end this soon and head over to Twitch soon. Dasher, you hosting? Who's hosting?
Somebody else.
Somebody hosting.
I am. I
Whoever's
am.
hosting,
Yeah.
get
Dash is
that shit
Dash is
ready.
hosting.
Yeah. Get that shit ready. We're gonna head over soon. But I did want to ask or bring up, okay, Sue Surf is supposed to be returning soon. I cannot wait for him to get out. Like, God willing, everything goes well. But there was like a little discussion in our chat.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just a fun question to end it out. And I'm gonna ask Joe because I don't even think Joe would allow. But do y'all
Oh.
think as soon as Sue gets out, he's gonna come up to the pod,
No,
or do you think they'll wait?
no, he'll wait. Needs at least a couple weeks to get, back into society. Go
Adam,
see family. Go fuck.
Go
Go,
get some ass.
yeah, go get some
Now,
ass. Like what the
now, if
Yes,
Sue
We
wanted to
sir.
got rid
come,
of Johnny for a reason.
if
Yo,
if Sue, okay, here's my question, Joe. This question is specifically for you. If he did want to come up there, like first thing, I'm out. Hey, I want to come up there. I'm ready to pod. Would you allow it? Or would this be one of those times like, hey, buddy, chill, like what you was kind of telling Max? Who's it? Who just got out?
Max B.
Max B. Thank you.
Uh, I would speak to him about it, but I probably support whatever he wanted to do.
That part. So it's honestly on Sue. We'll see, and I'm looking forward to it. Stag, go ahead and get us out of here.
That's what y'all in the group chat talking about?
That was Johnny. It was
Man,
Johnny's question. You remember Johnny?
yeah.
I ignored that fucking question.
Egg- egg- egg-
all chats aren't created equal.
I fell
Johnny.
for it. I was like, fuck no. Like, no, he's not coming to what? No, he got mad other people to see and things to do. No, he's not. Anyway,
But
um,
hold up, if he's sitting here sending messages to Mona talking about, hey, I'm gonna be your coworker,
Juicy,
like
he's bored.
he's obviously
Juicy,
excited.
he's sitting in there
Yeah, who
bored.
wouldn't be excited thinking about
Yeah, you
outside?
excited about going outside. You sitting there bored as hell. You on your little iPad doing whatever the fuck. That's all you got. Yeah, you might be excited to send that to
Treaches and
Treaches.
all
Yeah, you
that
want to
other
go see the
shit. It's
Treaches and
crazy.
the Yah means and whatnot. But hell yeah, you'd
I
be
guess
excited to
we'll
see
see.
that. But
No, and just for the sake of, because even motherfuckers, the Joe thinking somebody sitting up there worried about him taking shots and shit and all this other shit. Like, you want people to have more humanity than just circle around the podcast. And I know they said, oh, he get out the 16th and they record the 17th. It would be fresh, it would be dope, it would be experience. But I feel like, damn, wouldn't the person want, not what a person wants to, but like I figure people got other things in their life going on or to build up, what I'm saying, as
Can the
well.
guy go?
But working is
Can the
important.
guy go get a
Doesn't he have to
haircut?
get reacclimatized? Doesn't he have to get reacclimatized? Know what's going on outside before he like kind of like gives monologues on these things on the
Hell yeah,
pod?
has to be
Yeah, he
researched
needs a bit of time. Yeah, he needs a bit of
and get a
time.
haircut.
Well,
Like what the fuck is Johnny
I'm
talking?
excited to have him back for sure. He's really dope.
Jay, you got a message for us, but not for Ice about
Pray for us.
yeah.
Like,
Nigga
yeah,
What's
give
got
us a
an
prayer.
X
what
behind
do
the
you want
wall.
the community to
Micah,
be on in 2026? Please tell us what your community hopes are for 2026, Joe. If you still listening.
I'm sorry. Was that to me? I'm putting a toy together. What happened?
No, you got it, bro. I'm telling you, what's your hopes or what do you want the community to look like in 2026?
Oh, whatever it feels like looking like.
I
That is
appreciate that.
totally up to the personalities that make up this beautiful place. I have zero expectations.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna get healthy. We're gonna get healthy for 2026.
On the Zemp or natural?
Oh my bad.
However
natty,
means are necessary.
natty,
Whatever is
straight
necessary.
natty, nigga.
Whatever your doctor says is okay for you. We're not gonna judge anybody's medicine.
Let's be clear. I'm Zep Gang, not one of those,
Oh,
not one of those Zimpy fucks. Okay, let's
You
be
either got to
clear.
be elitist with the goddamn.
Let's set the record straight.
yeah, he gonna really be looking like Earl Sweatshirt soon.
Oh my god.
He gonna have a
He's
lot. You gonna
already
come out
looking.
with the
He's already
lollipop
looking
body?
good.
Oh man.
He's already
nah,
looking
y'all
good.
gonna do the Spider-Man meme?
Thank you, T Rankin.
Yeah,
The
he gonna be
belly's
looking like Russell
disappearing.
Simmons.
His
Russ,
cheeks are coming. His cheeks are getting defined
hello.
again. He's already
You
looking
see
good with
me?
it.
Something
I
like,
see you.
I'm
I
about to
see
throw
you.
up.
something like,
I'm about to
Joe just
throw up,
sucking it
bro.
up. You see me?
Ugh.
because it's happening. All this community do is
Oh
highlight
shit.
negative shit, but
That's
Oh
not
my
some shit,
God,
true.
some
Where
shit
really?
be
negativity
happening. You know what I
highlights
You
You
mean?
know,
us.
lying.
look. All I did was put a mirror up to what he
Oh
said about
shit.
it.
Mike, I'm
That's a
done with
Twitch
you for
conversation.
about
I
3
knew, I
weeks,
knew
my
you were
boy.
mad, man. Just say you
You
were
need to go
mad.
That's
cool
a Twitch
off.
conversation.